Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a few weeks since I posted a video, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that we were on a 3-week vacation. We went to the West Coast and Hawaii, and I have tons of pictures on Instagram and in my highlights and my stories if you want to follow along there and see all of the things that we did. I did post videos while we were on vacation, but I decided to take the last week of vacation and the week that we came home completely off of posting videos so that I could just relax and enjoy my time. And I knew once we got back, because there's a 6-hour time difference, that I would need a little time to get used to everything. So I am back at it. I recorded the dinners that I made for my family this week. So I started the day after we got home, and I'm going to make my last one tonight and then put it all together into the video that you're watching right now. These are all meals that I came up with, so I have recipe videos for a lot of them. They will be linked in the description box below, or I'll tell you how I made it in the video. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll go ahead and get started with those dinners. Tonight for dinner, I made my pesto chicken tacos. Those of you who have followed me for a while know that this is a family favorite. I recorded the recipe years ago. It's probably one of the first recipes I recorded, so I'll link that, but I made these just a little different, so I'm going to share how I made them. So I cooked my chicken with basil and garlic and olive oil, and then for the pesto, I used a handful of cilantro, a handful of parsley, 2 cloves of garlic, half a jalapeno pepper, a little bit of lemon juice, Parmesan cheese, and olive oil, and also added a little salt, and then I just had that mixed together in my food processor. It was so good. This is delicious. I spread the pesto on corn tortillas that I got a little crispy in a skillet. Then I added the chicken and shredded cheese. I used Colby Jack cheese, and I baked these tacos in the oven at 350 degrees until the cheese is melted. Because the chicken and everything is already cooked, you don't have to bake them for very long. I then added chopped tomatoes, and we are having these tacos with brown rice. And I did want to mention in this video, each meal I'm showing my plate, and of course my guys have a larger serving than I do, and we have more for seconds and all of that. Sometimes people ask about that kind of thing. So it's my plate. Tonight I made my Asian-inspired turkey meatballs with rice noodles and green beans. This is one of my favorite meals that I make, and I do have the entire meal recorded. I will put the link below. I'm pretty sure it's in a what I ate today video, but I'll leave the timestamp where I start making this, and you can find the written recipe in the description box of that video as well. A lot of people have let me know that they tried it and really enjoyed it. It has great flavor. Just a little tip if you decide to make this meal, it isn't hard, but there are some measurements, and one thing that I do to make it all come out at the same time is make the meatballs. They take 18 minutes to bake, and then you do the glaze on the stovetop after. So while the meatballs are baking, you can wash and prep your green beans, get all of the green onion and cilantro chopped, and measure out the other ingredients and start on that. And then it all is done at the same time, and it really doesn't take all that long. It is really delicious, so I hope you'll give it a try. Tonight for dinner, we had hamburgers, or cheeseburgers for some of us, and I baked some potatoes, and then I sliced them, brushed them with a little olive oil, and add salt and pepper, and John grills them, and they get really nice and crispy. They're so good and so easy. And then we had cucumber salad. I've shared my cucumber salad before, but if you'd like the recipe, I will link it below. Tonight I made chicken caprese, which was so delicious, and we have some steamed asparagus on the side. I do have a recipe video for this, and I will link it below. I just did this one a little bit different, but if you want the marinade for the chicken and how to make your own balsamic glaze, that's in the recipe video. I have my chicken on a bed of arugula that I dressed with a little balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Tonight for dinner, we are having ribs, which I'll share how I made them. They were delicious. I have some steak. I didn't feel like I had quite enough ribs, and both of my boys were home tonight, so I want to make sure I had a good amount. This is my plate. They had a lot more. I have baked potatoes and Caesar salad. For the ribs, what I usually do is make a rub for them. So I got these ribs from my Butcher Box. This video is not sponsored. I do love Butcher Box, and I do have a link for a discount, so I'll link it below. It's a pretty good discount too if you want to check it out. So these are the ribs here. They had lots of meat and they were full of great flavor. And for the rub, I use smoked paprika, a good amount of it, a little bit of cayenne pepper, garlic powder, basil, salt, and pepper. That's it. And you can see how they're really rubbed with a lot of flavor. And then I bake them at a low temperature, about 300 degrees, until they're cooked through. Usually that takes a little over an hour, but it depends on how many ribs you have and how much meat is on the ribs. So once they're cooked through, we put them on the grill and get them nice and crispy and add barbecue sauce. They're full of flavor, tender, and really delicious. We are having honey mustard grilled chicken thighs. They're really easy. I'll tell you how I make those. And crispy potatoes. I'll also tell you how to make those, and steamed broccoli. So for the potatoes, I baked some extra potatoes from yesterday, and I sliced those, added them to a skillet over medium-high heat with butter, olive oil, a little jalapeno pepper, green onion, salt, and pepper. And as you can tell, I like them really crispy, super easy, and so good. For the chicken thighs, I use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. John grills them and then adds honey mustard. The honey mustard is just Dijon mustard, honey, salt, and pepper. I use equal amounts of Dijon mustard and honey, usually about 1/3 of a cup of each. You didn't think I would share a what I made for dinner this week video without tacos, did you? So you all know I love tacos, lots of different tacos, and I have lots of taco recipes on my channel. I made some little mini tacos. They were really good, and I'll share how I made them. They're super easy. And we have cilantro lime rice. I shared how I make that a really long time ago, and I make it often because it's really good. So for the tacos, first I have corn tortillas that I popped in the oven just for a few minutes so they are soft, which makes them so much easier to work with. I browned ground beef and then added taco seasoning, just like you make regular tacos. I actually make my own taco seasoning, and I'll link the recipe that I use. It's really good. And then I added the ground beef and cheese to the tortillas. My son Josh doesn't like melted cheese, so that's why some of them don't have melted cheese. And then I sprayed some olive oil, or you can brush the tortillas with olive oil. This is going to get them nice and crispy, and then just pop them in the oven at 350 degrees until they are nice and crispy. And then I made some pico de gallo and added sour cream. I'm sure many of you make pico de gallo, but in case you're wondering how to make it, I don't usually measure. It's chopped tomato, cilantro, jalapeno pepper. I add red onion and a little salt and lime juice. That's just how I make it. It's really fresh and delicious and super easy. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned, any recipe videos that I talked about will be linked in the description box below. You may have to scroll a little bit to get to those. And I do have a video coming where I will be sharing tips for getting your life and your home back in order after you've been on vacation. I know a lot of people go out of town during the summer, and I get asked about this a lot, how not to feel overwhelmed when you get back, how to get back on track, and how I do my cleaning and all of that. So it's not overwhelming at all, and I will be sharing that in the next video. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up or comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.